What a great day. Something like, shoot, I don't even know what it is, but I'm sitting out in Lanai, and a little bit of a breeze coming through here. 80-ish. A little bit of clouds. I might get a little bit of rain this afternoon, which is kind of normal. But other than that, looks pretty good. A lot of kids down here right now. In case those of you that don't know, the Villages, every time around the Easter time, I don't know exactly when it starts, but it's around the Easter time, they have a thing here called Camp Villages. And it was designed for the grandchildren and things that come down, especially during spring break. And so there's a lot of kids here right now for Camp Villages, all kinds of activities. And it's designed for grandparents to do activities with their grandchildren and spend time with them. Everything from kayaking to archery. It's all supervised. I don't even know what cooking classes. I don't even know everything they do. They started all this basically after our grandkids were all grown up. So it's a great activity for grandparents and their grandchildren to have here. And but you got to sign up for a lot of stuff. They only accept so many people in these different events. And so the grandparents has to get, for those that are here that are new, if you want to have your grandchildren in any of these events, you got to get them signed up quick and long before the grandchildren get here, probably, or otherwise you're going to be left out in the cold. You're not going to be able to do it. So that being said, let's get on with the questions and answers. I got a lot of them. I hope I can get most of them. Hope I even know the answer. I'm just going to do them one at a time, and if you've got 4 and 5 questions, I may only answer just one and then move on because I got a lot. I just read what they say on here. I got them on my cell phone, so I didn't write them down again. It says, I stayed for 4 days and loved it, but your videos make it sound expensive to live there. I would be a snowbird. I'm planning on coming for a month next year. That was from Mary Chiss, or Kiss, C-H-I-S, Mary. It can be expensive to live here. I'm not going to lie to you. For example, an average price for a gallon of milk down here is $3.50. And I don't shop, so I didn't know if that was a bad price or good price, but everybody tells me that's fairly high for milk. I don't know why it's that high. I can't answer the question, so don't ask. But it's that expensive, and it's not special milk. It's not, any kind of special price milk. The way it's done, or fixed, or pasteurized, or whatever. It's just that's the average price of 2% milk, $3.50 a gallon. So some things can be expensive. If you're talking about the price of houses and things here. Price of houses are all over the place. I don't want to scare people off thinking that every house down here is $100,000 above your budget limit, or $200,000 above your budget limit. They're all over the gamut. You can buy a villa, a brand new villa, down there at Finney. I've seen them. I've been in them. I should have took video, but I didn't. I really need to. Oh, by the way, while I'm on the subject, my back's better today. I've been soaking in Epsom salts for about an hour every night in just as hot of water as I can stand. And I've been taking ibuprofen. I've heard all the comments about ibuprofen, but a guy's got to do something, You just can't sit there and say, well, I can't do this, can't do that because of this or that. So I've been taking ibuprofen, a couple of pills about every, I'll say 4 hours, and I feel a lot of relief. But I'm also kind of scared to go out and do a lot of anything that I may agitate it again. So I'm just going to try to relax for a week and try to get it, back to normal. So, but thanks, truly thanks, all the different comments I got. I appreciate it, I really do. So anyway, you can buy a brand new patio villa. They're 2-bedroom, 2-bath, very small yards. It's only about 11, they vary in sizes, but I'll say an average of about 1,160 to say 1,200-ish square feet. I think I did see one or two down there. It's a little over 1,200. They're very nice. They're open floor plans. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them whatsoever. They're great for a part-timer, just perfect for a part-timer for that matter. And I seen them down there brand spanking new for 100 and what did I see that one for? There's no upgrades in it. It's plain Jane, I'll put it. 168,000, I think. And then the average down there, the patio villas, were 170-ish, in the mid 170s, high 170s, and then they a few of them went up from there too, one in the 180s. But they had little upgrades here and there. And I can't think of what they were off the top of my head, but to give you an example of some of the upgrades that raises the price a few thousand, instead of having linoleum floor in the kitchen and bathrooms, it might be tile. So the price is up a little bit. But yeah, you can buy those. Those are way less than 200, and they're brand new, if that interests you. If you don't care about brand new, I'm just giving you a gamut here and everything in between. You can go clear up on the, what they call the historic side. Around, say, the Orange Blossom area. The country club's up there, their swimming pools are up there, the hot tubs are up there. They got stuff that we don't have down here. They quit doing that many, many years ago, the hot tub thing. I don't know why. But anyway, they're what they call modular homes or a prefab home. I've been in them. And most of the ones that I've been in are perfectly fine. The ones in the Orange Blossom area that I've been to, they're not sitting on blocks. They don't have tie downs or like a trailer you would think. They're on concrete slabs, and they bring them in, they set them on a slab, they bolt them down in some way. I don't know how. What do I know? I'm not a contractor. And then they put the houses together, and that's where they were sold. Most of them have carports, usually a double wide carport. That way you can get your golf cart and your car in there. There's a company here that also, for a small price, if you buy one of those, they will come to your carport and they enclose it with a garage door and the side panels. And they actually turn your carport into a garage. And they're very nice. I see them up there for, depending on what's been done, you know, like carpeting versus, because over the years, those up there are they go back, some of them go back in the 80s and 90s, 1980s, 1990s. So the price on them and the upgrades on them could be substantial over the years. But I've seen them for $139. You may want to go in and do a little upgrading yourself, some paint or whatever, change maybe some carpeting or something. But I've seen them for $139. I've seen them for less than that. But when you start getting too much less than that, they looks like have substantial work to be done. And most of those up there, the ones, and I don't know how the village just determines on which ones, but they've been buying them up. The ones that come up for sale or whatever, somehow the village has been buying them up. And I think they bought in well over 100. And they're taking them out. And they're using those lots to build brand new homes, stick-built homes and stucco-built homes. And so I can see the future up there, what's going on. The lots are bigger. And I don't think there's a bond issue up there at all either, because everything's already in place. So there's no bond, the lots are bigger, and they're upgrading it to stick-built homes. Now, you got to ask yourself the question, do you want to pay $250,000 for a stick-built home that's sitting in between modular homes? And I'm not putting modular homes down at all. Please don't misconstrue that. I'm just simply saying, if you look at it as an investment, do you want to do that? It's just a thought, that's all. If you plan on buying it and being there till you're dead, no problem. But yeah, you can buy them up there for those kinds of prices, and you can buy them all the way down to Finney for way less than $200,000. So, you know, don't let that bother you. So we'll get rid of that one. That took too long to answer. Says, I've watched many of your videos, Skip, and I've noticed frequent gas grills behind the houses, but I haven't seen a big, green eggs or other Komodo type grills. Do they know if there's a restriction against those type of grills. I didn't even know what that was. He sent me another email, thanks anyway, explaining what those are. It just sounds like basically a kind of an outdoor cooker, like a grill. I don't know if these are gas or if they all have charcoal. But no, there's no restrictions on grills as far as I know. I see grills everywhere. I don't pay attention what kind they are, truthfully, because I don't really care. I've got a gas grill that I use very, very rarely, but it's out there. It's been covered up now for probably a year, and I don't hardly ever use it. I don't even know why I got it half the time. But I have friends that come down and visit, and they use it, and they're welcome to. But no, not as far as I know. The only thing I'm going to say, remember, you're in a dry area down here in the summer, especially in the summer, and they have fire levels out, warning people. And sometimes we have a dry time of year where they don't want you to water your yard no more than like once a week, and only for a certain amount of time to conserve water and things like that. So if you're going to use a charcoal grill, your problem's going to be, what do you do with all the ashes? You just can't dump them out in your yard. And I'm not sure that the trash takes them. I don't see why they wouldn't, really. You could put it in a trash bag, I guess, and set them out. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend charcoal. And the reason why I say that is because of disposing of the ashes. I mean, if you've got a way of doing it, I don't really care one way or the other, as long as the hot ashes don't get out on the ground and cause a grass fire, because houses here are close. So we don't want any of that to happen. And truthfully, grills, if they're not real charcoal, they just don't have the flavor. The gas grills don't. They're just a dead flavor to me. It's just, might as well cook it on a gas stove in the house. Charcoal to me, or real wood, is the way to go. And I can't do that here. And so that's why my grill just sits there. I don't ever use it. But yeah, if you want to use them, I don't see no problem. I don't know of any. Check your deed restriction. I've said that 100 times. Each area could be different. They change as they go further south. Wherever you decide to buy a home, or if you have a home, whatever district you're in, get a copy of your deed restrictions for that district and read them and see what it says. It may be a restriction in that area that's not prevalent in my area. So just get your deed restrictions and read them. Get rid of that one. Tommy, what does that say? You mentioned something on your last Q&A video that caught my attention. You were talking the only reason you would leave the villages and return to Indiana was the doctors in Indiana, or something like that. Yes. I've got a doctor that's, I'm in pretty decent health. So, I can't say that he's really a good doctor. What do I know? I mean, I haven't really used him for anything other than my normal 6-month checkups that United Healthcare wants you to do. And, you go in for a quick slap on the ass and a pat on top of your head, and you're out the door. And a little bit of blood work. And that's it, every 6 months. I haven't had a heart attack. I haven't had a major stroke. I haven't had anything like that. And just by what I read, what I see, what I hear, and I hate reporting on things that's just always, rumors. I just don't. But I heard this one thing, and especially in the wintertime, over and over and over and over again, that it's got to be true. I have a neighbor here. His wife has a serious problem. And he has to take her to Leesburg Hospital. Now, this ain't the villages. This is Leesburg Hospital. Because some people, they want to downgrade the villages hospitals, and they talk about these other hospitals like they're great. Well, this is a Leesburg Hospital over there, which actually has a pretty good reputation, especially for heart problems. He has to take his wife over there for the special treatment she has to have right now. And the doctor told him to go to the emergency room. And I said, well, what do? Do you set up an appointment to go over there to have it done? He goes, no, we just show up in the emergency room to get it done. They won't do an appointment. He says, the emergency room. I said, so how long does it take, for these treatments? Because his wife, she's been having such a hard time. I feel sorry for her, I really do. And he goes, sometimes 7 to 12 hours. I said, what? He said, yeah. He said, sometimes we're over there, it takes 7 to 12 hours. He said, sometimes it takes that long just to see the doctor. We sit out in the waiting room because it's not really an emergency. We're just there for treatment and priority, I said, you got to be kidding me. Can't you make an appointment for treatments? I mean, for some reason. He said, well, the doctor said no. He said, just take her to the emergency room. Now, I don't know what's going on there, but that kind of stuff, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not a patient man. I've never been patient. I've never claimed to be patient. Well, except when it came to my granddaughters when they were little. They could kind of just walk all over me, and I didn't really care, and my wife even noticed that. But anyway, I'm rambling again. So yeah, if something was to happen to me or Sue where we needed medical care, I am not going to put neither one of us through going over here to hospital and sitting for 5 and 6 hours waiting, because they'll probably be calling the police on me, because I'll be their next ad in the villagesnews.com about how they had a patient or a customer over there, yelling and screaming and blah blah blah. So that'd be me. So no, that'd be the reason. Would be for doctors. I've had a lot of medical care at St. Vincent's Hospital in Indianapolis, and I can't say enough about them, what they've done for me. And I was in there a couple of times, and yeah. And I won't expect nothing less than that here. Just because we're old doesn't mean we should be accepting diminishing care. And I see that, and I hear it, that it just don't seem right. And I'm not going to go through that. By the way, just like cable TV, just because these are contracted areas and it's restricted to how many people can come in here and give you your cable, it's basically Comcast. Well, it used to be Bright House, is now Spectrum. You can do a satellite dish, but it can't be attached to your house. I know you're going to see it, but the restriction here says it cannot be attached to your house. There's another one, and I can't think of the name of it, but anyway, they seem to think they can come in here willy-nilly and just charge you whatever they want and do whatever they want, and the customer service really sucks. You call and complain. We can be out there sometime next Wednesday. What time Wednesday? Sometime between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. That's what they tell you here. Like you're supposed to sit at home all day and wait for these people. And I'm just tired of it. So yesterday was the day I cut cable. And I took the phone out too. Took it all put it in a box, went back to Spectrum, said don't want it. I did keep their internet because I'm using a Fire Stick and things like that for television. But I can see what's happening here. There's a lot of people here cutting the cable, and for the 100 megabytes, which I don't even know what that is, download, upload, whatever, it's $69.95 a month through Spectrum. And he's saying that if I'm going to watch TV, he said, you may want to consider upgrading to the 400. He said, this is something new. I said, what does that do? He said, it's a lot of speed, a lot of speed. He said, that way you won't have any buffering or anything like that. I said, really? I said, how much is that? $89.95 a month. Now, I'm doing away with those packages and stuff because I'm not going to pay $220 a month to watch, I don't know, 6 channels of TV. I know they give you 180, 220, but out of them 220 channels, what do you really watch? I watch about 6. History, Discovery, the local news channels, which is usually 2, and maybe a couple other ones, ABC, CBS, something like that for baseball and shit. And then I pay $220 a month to watch that. And then I've tried these outdoor antennas here, which we're not allowed to have here. But I brought them out in Lanai, and I've tried them just to see if they'd work. How many channels can I pick up locally? Well, let me tell you where I live. The answer to that is 0. My neighbor got one. I said, well, you see what you do. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. He hooked his up and walked around outside with it and everything. 0. We can't get anything here, which is weird, because 3 miles down the road's a campground, and my buddy of mine picks up something like 20 channels with a TV antenna that's on his camping trailer. I don't know. Don't understand why, but anyway, I am cable free, and I don't tend to do anything about it until they get off their high horse and start getting competitive in them prices. Also, on an earlier video, you were wondering if putting power ventilations in your attic. Oh no, I give that up. Yeah, I did report that there was things you could do, because somebody asked me about that. Can you put attic fans in? Is there restrictions on it? Solar lighting, is there restriction? That's what I was answering. And your answer, as far as I'm concerned, this is just my opinion. I agree with you. What's your name? Tom? I agree with you, Tom. It's just, and no, it's not going to be a waste of electricity, because I wasn't going to get that kind. I was going to get the solar fan. but it just moves hot air around. I don't think it does much of anything. My ventilation system works good. I've been up there. You can actually feel a breeze. It's hot. It's hot. The only thing I know that could actually help kind of cool your attic down is there's a bubble wrap. A friend of mine had it done, and they actually have to go up there. It's laborious as hell, and they got to put this bubble wrap around your roof everywhere in the attic, around the 2x6s, around up against, in between the 2x6s. You get the gist of what I'm saying, and it does help. But my God, that's got to be expensive. How long would I have to live here to recapture that? You know what I mean? So I'm not doing that either. So other than putting insulation up above the garage to kind of help keep the garage cooler, and I want to get the garage door insulating kit to help keep the garage a little cooler. That's probably all I'm going to do out there. Okay, let's get rid of that. Next one. Bob Parsons. Oh, crap. I hit the wrong button. Thanks for the explanation on the bonds. Our military. Oh, yeah, the bonds. You know, the bonds is probably a complicated thing. I just know the gist of what bonds are. Basically, bonds are sold to pay for the infrastructure. That's Florida law. A contractor cannot sell or build that first house until the infrastructure is in place. That prevents a contractor from running away from the deal with the people's money and never finishing the job. In Indiana, this happened a lot. It's not going to happen here. So yeah, they sell bonds to get the money to do the infrastructure. Then it's divided, however much money that is, then it's divided into the amount of homes in that area, and then those bonds become part of what the new owner has to pay. I think it's like 5.25%, and their bonds are for like 30 years, something like that. A realtor can tell you more exactly how it's done, but that's the basic gist of what a bond is. Amazing Exotic Animal Rescue and Sanctuary Incorporated. Huh. These people are good. There's many of these exotic places. That's just the name of this person that sent me this question in Florida. Big cat rescue thing. There's an elephant rescue center. There's a lot of stuff. And thank God for them, because these poor animals wouldn't have nowhere to go. They're mistreated. I mean, it's just terrible. But on the other hand, on the other side of that coin, what the hell are we doing here in America to allow these animals to be sold and bartered in the first place? Why can you go to a pet store and buy a python when you have these problems in Florida now? Why is that? Why can't I go to a flea market and there'll be somebody there selling 50 different kinds of snakes or exotic animals when we have this problem in Florida now? Why is that? So there's where your problem is. I don't know. I mean, I got nothing against animals or people owning animals and taking care of animals, but that ain't what happens, is it? And even by accident, a hurricane comes through. Many houses get destroyed. These people are protecting their lives. They get in their car, they haul ass, they're out of here. Houses get destroyed. There's a certain percentage of these people that have pet pythons. They have pet monkeys. They have pet whatever. Once the house is destroyed, nobody's home. The area is abandoned for many months until people can get back to their property, and these animals are out in the wild. And then we got to deal with it. So, yeah, it's an ongoing problem. It's going to continue to be an ongoing problem until somehow, some way, that problem is taken care of. Yeah, what else we got? Kara Hamill, thank you. It says, do you do a video on the different kinds of houses and their names? We are in the beginning process and coming down in July, and will be coming down in the winter. Well, first of all, let me say you're doing a good deed to yourself by coming down in July, a hot time of the year. Everybody comes down in the winter. Winter is not the problem other than traffic. But in July, when it really starts to heat up, that's what you need to know. Can you stand that? Because if you can stand that, then you can be a full-timer. If you can't stand that, then you need to be a snowbird if you can afford that. So you're doing yourself a good deed by doing that. I've recommended that to everybody. But, you know, I'm sure nobody's going to listen to what I got to say about it. Yeah, I did a video where I'm doing more of them. But, yeah, if you go down my videos or hit that video thing up there on my channel, you'll see I got 200 and some videos. But a lot of them are probably not anything to be interested here. But, yeah, I did 3 weeks in a row. I did home tours. One was a Whispering Pine. One was a Veranda. I can't remember the model though. Whatever, what, Jackson model maybe. And then there was another one, a Gardenia, I think, down at Finney. Anyway, I did at least 3 of those. I'm gonna do some more. Right now my back's a little funky, so I'm gonna do some more. I hear you, but go look at those and see what you think. I'm not saying it's professional video. I'm not saying it's the best at all, but it's my opinion. I took some pictures. I pointed out maybe some things that you wouldn't notice that I know is an upgrade. So, and I also put the price on them, I think, on all of them. Maybe not all of them, but I think on all of them. And just see what you think. I'm going to do some, for those that sent me email, I am going to do some pre-owns video the first chance I get. I'm hoping that one of the realtors will email me or something and let me know, because I need to really be able to get in there half an hour before an open house to do a walk around without people in my way. I'm hoping they'll get back with me, but so far I haven't heard anything. Kathy, sprinkler donuts, are they necessary? The real answer to that, Kathy, is no. You don't need them. I put them on mine myself. You can go to any Ace Hardware store. You can go to Home Depot. I haven't been to the new Lowe's, but I'm sure there's stacks of these donuts. They're cheap to buy. This guy charging you $113. I don't know how many you had. I had, I think, 36 or 40 in my yard. I did it myself. I don't know what kind of house it is, so I don't know how many sprinkler heads you had. But the price itself sounds fairly reasonable if you've got a reasonable amount of sprinkler heads. What they're there for is actually to protect the sprinkler. If you hire somebody to mow your grass with these big zero turning radius tractors, it kind of helps keep the tires off of the sprinkler head as they drive, because they're not paying attention where they're going, they're just driving. And when they spin that tractor around, if that tire happens to be on top of a sprinkler head when he turns that tractor around zero radius, that tractor tire, if it's sitting on the head, can actually turn that sprinkler head to where when it comes on the next time, it can be spraying on your neighbor's house or spraying out in the street. And it just also kind of, I painted mine a different color so they stand out, so that when somebody's walking around my yard, working, planting a tree, or whatever the case may be, it kind of catches their eye. So if they go to dig in that area, they kind of know there's a water line somewhere there. So yeah, I put them in there, but is it a necessary thing? No, it's really not. Okay, let's get rid of that one. Oh, thanks, Lester. He sent me a thing about cable TV after I cut cable. I've tried a lot of different things, Lester. I'm still playing. So Skip, I hope the Epsom salt treatment worked, from Mariposa. I can't say it's just the Epsom salt, but between the Epsom salt and the ibuprofen, I'm feeling better. So thanks. Okay, I've seen that. What we got here? Golf cart trails. You mentioned that the patio villa neighborhoods are pretty vacant during the summer. Is this true for the courtyard villas area too? You know, that's really kind of a complicated question depending on the area of the village is. Patio villas they were basically built for snowbirds. Most of them are 2-bedroom, 2-bath. You get up in the northern area, you can also get 1-bedroom, 1-bath. And, you know, it was basically a fairly cheap way to come down to Florida in the wintertime and not spend a ton of money buying a house. Back in the day, not today, but back in the day, those 1-bedroom, 1-baths, brand new, was only about $55,000 and $60,000. Today, a 1-bedroom, 1-bath up there. And I see them every now and then. You don't see them pop up very often. Whoever gets them, they kind of hang on to them. You're talking 140-ish, something like that. And so they kind of hang on to them. And I don't know if they got them down at Finney, 1-bedroom, 1-bath. I don't know that. They may have, but I can't speak on that. But yeah, they're basically made for snowbirds. Not to say a single person couldn't live in them full time, or even a pair of people if you really like your partner. My wife and I, we probably could have lived in ours, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. My problem with it was the 1.5 car garage. Down in Finney, they've upgraded that. The patio villas down there, you can get them with 2-car garages, or they've got a model down there, and I don't know the name. You can Google it or whatever, but they got a model down there where it's a 1.5 car garage on one side of the driveway and a golf cart garage on the other side of the driveway. We didn't have that option up north. And so that's where I had to get out, and I had to have a bigger garage for many reasons. And of course, that 3rd bedroom's nice. I did really want a 3rd bedroom too. I guess I shouldn't say it's all about the garage. My 3rd bedroom now is kind of like my buddy calls it a man cave. It's just a TV room, really, a couple of lounge chairs in there, and I cut a lot of video in there. I thought about putting an office desk in there also, but then, nah, if I put an office desk in there, every time I want to watch TV or whatever, my wife will want to come in there and get on the computer to pay a bill or something, and that just gets on my nerves, so I don't want an office desk in there. I really don't want one in our bedroom either, but I'd rather have it in there than in my man cave. But yeah, in the summertime, the patio villa areas and the courtyard villa areas kind of empty out. Not totally. There's always full-time people in there, but it's nothing like it is in the winter when it's completely full. Actually, I kind of enjoyed that. That's just me. You may not. If you're the kind where you like to have a lot of neighbors around all the time, it may not be for you. Now, here's the thing. 20 years later, you move down to the Brownwood area, or south of, I'll say just basically south of Sumter Landings, not including Hacienda Hills. It really kind of started there, Hacienda Hills. And as it came down here, the popularity of Hacienda Hills, they brought it down here. Now you can get courtyard villas that are 3-bedroom, 2-car garage, and I don't know that you can't get a 3-bedroom, 2-car garage and a golf cart. I don't know that. I just know that they're a lot more expansive now. 2,200 square feet, 2,300 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, a walk-in shower in the master. They really upgraded them a lot. The neighborhoods where each house has a different theme. Different color, different look. They're gorgeous. I mean, they're just absolutely, if you've never seen one of these neighborhoods, they're just absolutely gorgeous. All tile floors, upgraded cabinets, tray ceilings, all these things. And people that buy them, I think, they would be more likely than not to stay there full time. So I believe the newer courtyard villa areas will have more full-time people in them than the ones up north on the 2-bedroom, 2-bath courtyard villas or patio villas. Only because of the expansion of them. Now, let's talk price. Up north, I can get a 2-bedroom, 2-bath courtyard villa, depending where it's at, depending on what upgrades are done. All these things are in. Is it a corner lot? Is it not a corner lot? All these things, Then I'm going to say around, give or take, 200-ish area, some a little more, some a little less. You go to the 3 bedrooms down here with the tray ceilings and all that stuff, 2,100 square feet and all this kind of thing, 300 plus, even 400. It's a lot of money, but they're gorgeous inside, just totally gorgeous. And so for that kind of money, I would think somebody would probably stay more full-time than not, unless they're, we got a little bit of money on them. So yeah, depending on where you go, that's the way it's going to be. All right, let me get rid of that one. Man, this video is going to take forever. Jiv, Jivh, he watched an old video of a guy. He's like, at that time, he was like 80, 78, something like that, dancing up at, that's Spanish Springs up there. That video was taken way back, I think, when they were building Sumter Landing. I don't remember how long ago it's been. 2010. Yeah, that could have been way back when they were building Sumter Landing. And that guy in that shirt there, by the way, his nickname down here is Dancing Paul. He's still around. He doesn't live here. He just comes up once in a while to the squares because he loves to dance. And all the girls seem like they know him. He has a good time with the kids when they're here. He dances. He has these dances that only he makes up. I've watched him. I just hope when I'm that age that I can get around like he does, because he gets around pretty good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Jim Stancia, I'm watching that new Yuengling Bear. So far, I haven't been out much, so my back, but I haven't seen it yet. I will see what it is. New comments. What does it say? Tell you there was a Midwestern accent. It says from Mariposa P. Congrats on your numerous new subscribers. I tell you, it's your content. Tell it like it is delivery. I guess I got this attitude that makes it sound like that I'm kind of harsh or something. I don't mean it to be. With your charming Midwest accent. I have an accent? I thought you had the accent. I'm shocked that I have an accent. You sure it's me? Need and desire, Justin Pack, take time to answer your viewers' request. Great time, deal. I see you on. I don't know about any big headaches. Thank you. Keep it going. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. I'm just going quick because this video's taking a while. Time paying Division Village, August and September this year. Your videos are invaluable, so keep it on full timers. It's a bit of intimidating. It is intimidating. I know it can be complicated. It was that way with me too, and I never forgot that. And I also, sometimes I made a mountain out of a molehill, like closing and not being here. I thought, oh my God, this is going to be awful. Something's going to go wrong. I just know it is. And it was easy peasy. The Villages has got things set up to make things easy for you, as easy as possible. Let me see what else. My back's killing me. It's better. Yeah, I'm taking the ibuprofen and Epsom salt. Oh, that kind of hurt. I just took a deep breath. That kind of hurt. Jackie Lawson sent me an e-card. Thanks, Jackie. I appreciate it. You know all these little websites for all this kind of stuff. I had no idea that these things even exist. Sinkhole from Mike. Hey, Mike. Skip, I value your videos and your thoughts. Do you have sinkhole insurance and why? I already sent Mike a comment, but I think that deserves a second comment. And why? Well, Mike, that's why we buy insurance for anything. You buy insurance in case. What if? You buy fire insurance in case somehow, somewhere your house gets on fire. Maybe not your fault. You buy sinkhole insurance in case a sinkhole develops in my yard. It could. It happens everywhere around here. They're like tornadoes in Indiana. Make sure you got tornado insurance. Who knows where that finger of God is going to go? So that's why I have sinkhole insurance. I also have catastrophic ground collapse. I did a video on the difference between the two. Catastrophic ground collapse, though, you don't have to worry about buying that. When you buy house insurance here in Florida, catastrophic ground collapse automatically comes with that. But you have to buy the sinkhole insurance add-on. And I did. What I getting was good. Just in case, that's all. I may never use it. Hopefully I never will. just like the fire insurance. Hopefully I'll never have to use it. The Villages Dog Park. What is the price of these homes in LaBelle, north and south? The same price as anywhere else. They're all the same. Every village has the same homes in it. It's just that some village has a little bit different designs on the exterior look, and things of that nature. But all neighborhoods has a designer home. All neighborhoods will have a premier home. All neighborhoods will have courtyard villa areas, and all neighborhoods will have patio villa areas. They're all the same. So what's the home cost in LaBelle? God, they're all over the place. You could have one for, as little as, I don't know, 200-ish. And then you can have one that costs as much as $1 million. You just have to, just decide what your budget is, talk to a real estate person, and they can send you a list of what's available. Question and answer. Kathy Alber. Coming in August, can't wait, and we'll be looking to meet up with you, Skip. We are doing a Villages experience. Well, whether you see me or don't see me, you're coming in August. That's a hot time of the year. I've always recommended that. See if you can stand it. If you can, good. If you can't, then you know you probably need to be a bird. But whether I'm here, whether I'm not here, you're going to enjoy yourself anyway. If you're on a Villages lifestyle, you're going to get a golf cart, jump in it, get on a trail, go get lost, have some fun, drink a beer, eat some food, go to the pool. You have to play golf. Go bowling. They have all kinds of stuff. So, immerse yourself into it. Kathy Tuller. The pros and cons for lanai versus bird cages. I have seen a few. Well, the biggest difference, depending on what kind of bird cage and what the bird cage is actually being used for. Everybody, when you buy a house here, gets a lanai. A lanai is a structure affixed to the house, and you have a shingled roof over your lanai. And like on my lanai, I did a video, you've seen it, where I put the sliding doors in of glass so I can close it off. And I can actually air condition it out here if I wanted to. We don't yet. I've considered it, but we haven't done that yet. Actually, that's where I'm sitting right now, is out in Lanai. I enjoy it out here. We enjoy our Lanai. We kind of use it like an extension of the house. Up north, we might call this a screened-in porch. Down here, it's Lanai, a bird cage. Outside Lanai here, I've got a 10 by 10 concrete slab. And out there's where I got the barbecue grill and things like that. If I wanted to protect that against bugs and lizards and the creepy crawly things, they could come out and they can actually bird cage that in. The roof and all would be screened. They put a frame up, and you have to pick out the kind of screen you want. You can get a privacy screen, you can get regular screen. There's different kinds of things, and that would be a bird cage. And there's also a company now that makes a waterproof, like I'll call it a tarp, that is custom made to match your roof on your bird cage, and they can put that on to where the rain, if it comes straight down, won't necessarily go straight into the lanai. Kind of helps protect the furniture come what. But let me just tell you, I think that's a big waste. It could provide you some shade, I suppose. I mean, that just hit me. That's a thought. Yeah, those could provide you a little bit of shade that could be beneficiary if you like to sit outside. But bird cages aren't cheap. I haven't done it yet. I have gotten a couple estimates to have mine done. My neighbor over here he got 3 or 4 estimates. He's getting ready to do some work over there too. So that's the difference. Lanai is affixed to the house with a shingled roof attached to the house, and you can actually make it an extension of the house. A bird cage is something that's beyond the house, and they screen it in, and generally speaking, it doesn't really have a shingled roof over top of it. A swimming pool. If I put a swimming pool out there, then they'd have to bird cage it in, kind of like. They may put a brick wall around it and attach the bird cage to the top of that brick wall, but they bird caged in to keep the bugs out, basically, especially the love bug season. So that's the difference. Is Lady Lake, Summer Hill, Oxford Oaks part of the Villages? That's a yes and a no. Oxford Oaks, it's outside. Does the Villages control that? You know, I really never paid no attention, but I have seen it a lot. I'm almost ventured to say yes. It's a family park. There's 5 family parks as part of the Villages. And I gave a video and listed all them parks. Buffalo Ridge was one. I think Oxford Oaks was one. That's where you can have children. And those parks were generally designed from the beginning was for the employees that worked for. Oh crap, somebody's knocking at my door. We had, I don't know, we had the solar lights, you know, you put outside around your flower beds. I brought every one of them. I didn't bring the whole thing, I just brought the top part. I brought them all in the house, thinking that if the lights did go out, I had these solar lights that I could use for a while. And some of them I got out there are really good. They'd burn all night long. And then by the next day, when the sun comes back up, they automatically go out and recharge again. So I figured those would last me probably 24 hours if I needed them that long. Plus we had flashlights, extra batteries, all these little things. We never even lost electricity. Not here, not in my area. No flooding, no loss of electricity. The only damage that I know of was from the wind. A little bit of shingle loss here and there. I lost a few shingles. I just went out and fixed it myself. And a few other houses around here lost shingles. Some lost more than others, but they all got fixed pretty quick. And maybe because of so much rain, the ground was so wet that on the golf courses and such, there was some large oak trees that fell over. There might have been a neighbor or two that lost maybe a bush or something. I didn't lose any trees. I had a freshly planted palm tree right here by the house that I thought was going to go. It didn't. So really all I suffered was a few shingles. And when I say a few, I'm talking totally, I went up and did it. And I ripped off a few more too, just because where the wind blew them back, it kind of creased. I tore all them off. And I think I actually used like maybe, I'm going to say a bundle and a half of shingles. And then you buy the, I don't know what they're called, for the tab on the end of the rows. I used maybe 4 shingles for that. And that was it. And we're good to go. So, to answer your question, I can't speak for Finney. I can't speak for really anything else down there. But if that's designed, and I've been down and looked around, and it looks like to me it is, if you really stand by the rec center, where the walking trails are down there, and all this and that, the main rec center where you first go in the gate, and just stand there and just look around. Notice you're in the bottom of a hole right there. Everywhere around you, just look around. Everything's above you. Houses are up here, you're down here, and that river runs right through that. So it looks like everything there is going to run down toward that rec center. All the big water is going to go there. I mean, I don't know about the rest of it, because they're still building over there, but my guess would be with the golf courses over there and stuff, if you go over and actually look, you'll see where everything probably goes down into that golf course. And that's what they're designed. It's great, you know. So no, I don't have any problem with it, and I don't think you will either. So until then, I'm just going to say, I know it's a long video, we'll get her done. It's 80 degrees today, I think, partly cloudy, mostly sunny, looks good. And today will be Friday, so I'm going to probably be done the rest of this weekend. I don't know what I'm going to do for Monday. My back's still bothering me a little bit, but we'll get something figured out. So I'll see you all later. See you all on the other side.